So Peter, for you, again, we get the chance to drive the Citroën C3, and this is something that I've been looking forward to because it's something different.
It is different, and that's why we're going to do, I think, a bit more of a comprehensive walk around, because there is quite a bit to talk to on the Citroëns in general, which we find the designs are very different to anything else, except, of course, these lights over here. So
let's start with the front. So at the top, the strip light is your daytime running lights and your indicator. But you said we've seen this. This looks familiar.
Yeah, the Hyundai Sonnet has this, and the
Jeep Compass.
The Jeep Compass, when it first came out, also had these lights over here. So I don't know if it's the same designer that's gone to all three brands, or if it's the same three designers that went to the same design school.
Yeah. But it looks nice.
It looks very nice.
I really. Okay, so LED headlights, which is awesome, and which is weird. LED, and then a normal bulb. Halogen fog light at the bottom. Weird. Let's talk about the awesome wheels. Okay, so it's a nice diamond cut alloy wheel with, important to note, a 205 55 16, which is a very common size tire, and Michelin standard execution here, which is nice.
It is nice. Michelin obviously being a French brand as well.
Yeah.
So not unexpected, but Michelin do have a very extensive warranty on their tires. I think it's up to 70,000 kilometers they warrant the tires. So yeah.
Okay, so very funky looking air bumps on the side of the car here. Something that we first saw on the Citroën, was it the Cactus?
Cactus, I think it was, yeah. So this is designed for shopping trolleys and other motorists opening their doors up aggressively on the car. When it came out on the Cactus, it looked horrible. But this...
It's a bit more refined and a little bit of a white trim there, which makes it look nice. Okay, so let's move to the back. This is really nice, eh?
So it's nice and three-dimensional.
It's a three-dimensional look.
And when we say three-dimensional, we're talking about the depth as well. So these lights do have a bit of depth to them.
Okay, at the back, before you open that, something that we have become accustomed to see at the back is reverse cameras, but no reverse camera on this.
Yep.
But the normal traditional park distance control sensors.
Which I almost don't use a reverse camera, to be honest. So I quite like the park distance control cameras. I mean the park distance control sensors.
Yes. Size of this boot, Pete. Again, is this, before we go there, where does this fit in segment-wise? Is it a compact SUV? Is it a crossover? Is it a?
I wouldn't call it a SUV. At best, it's a crossover, and it's compact. And considering that it is compact, not a bad size luggage compartment in the rear.
It is very deep, so there's quite a bit of a lip to come over. But yeah, the normal, will you be able to fit a very big suitcase in here? Definitely will be able to.
For sure. Might even be able to fit you in there, mate.
Spare wheel. It's not a full-size spare wheel. So it's not you don't have a fifth mag and a 205 55 16. This is a 185 65 15.
So it's not a mini, it's not a Mari biscuit, it's not a full size, it's a Goldilocks.
So tell me, why would they do that?
Ultimately it's to give this a flat bottom, so that it's a space saver.
It's a space, okay.
And it's also a weight saver, believe it or not. So you do obviously get extra credits from a emissions point of view if your spare wheel is smaller.
Okay, so all in all, outside, we're going to get into the interior now, but yes, I like the look of this. I've always been somebody that enjoys something different.
For sure.
Let's get inside.
Okay.
Okay, so this is where I'm almost more impressed than on the exterior, because when we say it's different, it's a lot different to what we normally see. From the trimmings on the doors, and your first impression?
Yeah, everything's symmetrical for me. So for those of you that are OCD, you're going to enjoy this car because everything is absolutely precisely in its place. What is interesting for me is that the cluster itself is not overly complicated. So it's still an analog cluster, not much of a digital screen effect on this cluster.
Yeah. I'm going to say it straight up. Fanie Fit is a low on the scale.
Yeah, this is a very tight tolerance fit.
Yes.
But I mean, it's a small car, so we've got to stop looking for reasons to be negative, I suppose, about the rears. It's a small car.
and the Fritz fit in the front's also a bit of a problem. But yeah, so I don't have any leg room.
Yeah, no, I'm battling.
I don't have headroom. I'm feeling quite cramped. And the headrest at the back obviously needs to go up.
Yeah.
When you're sitting at the back, but down for visibility when you're in the front.
But here's something that's interesting, that where they have been a bit clever in terms of the design, and that is that to compensate for the lack of knee room, there's a lot of foot room underneath the seats that you can then push your legs underneath, which does relieve you of a little bit of pressure over here. So I don't feel claustrophobic. I feel like it's a tight fit, but I don't feel claustrophobic because I have got a lot of space for my feet underneath the seat.
Correct. So Pete, yesterday I took the car to the garage to fill up, and the petrol attendant asked me if he could clean the windscreen. I said yes, no problem. And this is what I noticed. Why don't you just maybe pick up the windscreen wipers quickly to clean the windscreen? Okay, so you can't do that.
Okay, so I'm damaging
because you'll damage the
paintwork there.
This one.
No
Same
chance.
thing. So you can't lift up the windscreen wiper. So
but that's easy. We just open the bonnet.
Okay, then. Open it. Let me show you something. Okay, so now the bonnet's open. Now lift them for me. Oh, okay. So again, still a bit of a problem there.
Okay,
this one's up.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm saying that there's a position in a service department in Citroën that you wouldn't see in any other place. So let me show you. Kom gou hierso seun, ek wil jou iets vra. Staan gou hierso. Kom staan hierso. Okay? Hou hierdie ding vir my op. Hom heeltemal op. Okay, now I can open and lift these up and change them. So in a Citroën workshop, there's a small little oakie like this that needs to hold the bonnet all the way up to the top so that we can change the windscreen wipers.
Well, that's an interesting position to put on your CV, eh?
Very interesting.
Hold the bonnet open, techie.
Yes. Interesting, eh?
Well, I told you the French are getting revenge on the English.
Let's go for a drive. Pete, so I'm looking forward to this drive, but the first thing that I noticed when I got into the car yesterday when they dropped it off, and just now again putting it into gear for the first time, because we're driving the 1.2 turbo auto, okay? And like you pointed out, the indicator for your gear lever is there in the front, and sort of takes you used to actually getting the slots where you put the car into gear. While I'm driving, can I ask you a favor? Can you maybe just run through this infotainment system and just show us what it's got?
For sure, and I think one of the things that's impressed me about this is that it is genuinely intuitive to use. Today is the first time that I've been in this car,
yes,
and I know how to operate this thing immediately. So the buttons are clear. If I want to go to my media, I press the music icon and I've got my radio, I've got my sources, I've got my options, etc. So very, very simple. And then you've got a speed reading and recommendation. So the camera that's on the screen that operates our lane keeping warning function is also able to read road signs and give us an indication.
That's pretty impressive.
A lot of tech built into this. And while we're here talking about the standard execution on the vehicle, which for a small entry-level vehicle, once again, it's impressive if we have a look at it. You know, we look at pricing on the vehicle, and if we have a look here, the pure tech starts at $269,900. And if we go to the top of the range, it's $324,900, so call it $325,000.
Yeah.
So great pricing for a car that's packed with features.
Agreed. Is reliability and parts availability still a problem for guys like Citroën in South Africa?
It's only a problem from a perception point of view. If you have a look at the facilities, and we've spoken about this with Peugeot, they've got a massive warehouse. In fact, now with this whole integration into Stellantis, they are moving into an even bigger facility. So the economies of scale are there. You know, any manufacturer has challenges with one or two parts here and there. I don't think it's going to be any different for Citroën, but I don't think they're going to have the same problems that they had perhaps when they relaunched in the country. Okay, so Fanie, not a lot of cars have this, but if you have a look here, we can see if the occupants at the rear are belted up, which is, I think, a very important thing, because especially with children, they like to undo their seatbelts in defiance of their parents.
And then the passenger airbag on light. So
you can switch it off. So if we open up what is supposed to be a cubby hole,
What cubby hole?
which is very,
Okay,
very
so
small.
here you can switch off the airbag. So if you put the car seat in the front.
You can put a baby seat in the front, which I recommend because then you've got proper attention on the road instead of turning around to pacify the baby. But also, if you're under 12, you really should be turning off the front airbag. How often do you use your cubby hole?
Never.
Never. So I don't worry about that.
The book's in there, but this is a valid point. You can't even put your book in here.
No, you can't.
Okay.
The other thing that's missing for me is a center armrest.
Yeah, there's no real center console armrest.
Yeah.
Peter, that was fun.
Very impressive, actually.
I actually don't have a lot of bad things to say right now.
No, look, I mean, from a drive point of view, as we've said, the suspension nice and soft, very composed, very quiet vehicle. Engine was impressive. It felt actually a lot bigger to drive. I felt like I was driving a bigger vehicle.
I agree. Okay, so let's get down to business. Ratings and would we buy this, yes or no? So I'll start. I think I've enjoyed this immensely. I enjoy, like I said, being a little bit different. So this is something that does appeal to me. I would give this a rating of 8.5 out of 10, and I would buy this, but under the right conditions. So for my wife and my family, this is not the right car.
No, for sure. So I think in the segment again, we got to say that we obviously rating all the vehicles that we rate per segment.
Correct.
Look, there's a couple of things that impress me. First of all, the build quality on this is superb. The drive on it is superb. So as a daily commuter vehicle, this would be an awesome car to have. It's not going to be a family car. It's not what it's designed for. It's got everything that we need in it in terms of bells and whistles. From a safety point of view, we can't fault it. So in terms of the car itself, I agree with you. I think an 8.5 out of 10 is a fair score for the vehicle. Would I buy it? It's a difficult one because the French have left me twice. And, you know, when you hurt me once, shame on you, but when you hurt me twice, shame on you.
I hear you. Okay, that's a fair opinion. And that's it from us at Let's Talk Automotive and our review and drive on the Citroën C3. We'll see you again next time.
Cheers, everyone.